Welcome back to High Ground TV here at the NA Hub in the bedroom of Andrew Campbell's Zaire here at VTS. I'm What Is Hip. With me today for this cast going to be Base Skip. We're going to be watching Isurus going up against CNB eSports, who are on quite a roll.
Yeah, CNB have been looking really good up until this point. I mean, they definitely won their first 2 rounds. Looks like they dropped a match. Yeah, so they did end up dropping a match in the 3rd round to
Union? Really?
It looks like it must have been to Union. So,
that's surprising.
Well, a little bit of a road bump for them, but we'll see if they can get back on track here up against Isurus. And yeah, how are Isurus doing, by the way?
Not great.
0-3.
Yeah, not great.
So they're looking to get their first win on the board here. And I don't think they've necessarily played any of... Okay, so they have played Sna.
Mm-hmm.
Who else have they... We can actually just check down here, right? So Isurus have played...
Sna, Nar.
Okay, so they... Okay.
And Revenge.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, 0-3. Fair enough.
Yeah, those are not easy games.
We'll give them... So let's call this the first true test for Isurus as far as their level in the middle ground. I think everybody was going to place them kind of middle of the pack anyway, so I guess we'll see how they're going to fare, because CNB are looking to cement their spot more or less in the top 4.
Yeah, being 3-1 would be quite nice for them.
Yeah, especially going into the later matches.
Yeah, we're about halfway through day 1 now, I guess. So
pretty much.
We're moving along, but let's hop into the draft here and see what's going on. Well, it looks like CNB have picked up the Sand King Mirana. On the other side of things, we've got a Treant Protector.
Pretty familiar bands so far. Invoker, Lycan, Naga, Bat. People still not really comfortable dealing with the Naga despite the nerfs. I think part of that is that teams just don't really scrim it that much. And what you would really need, even to see the full impact of the nerfs and to figure out your new plan as far as playstyle is concerned against the Naga, you need to grind out some games. You need to figure out what your important heroes are to deal with it. Some teams have shown success, like I think Navi beat out EG. They ran a sort of niche Queen of Pain mid just to crush the Naga and snowball the game from there. Some other teams have different strategies that they look to as far as dealing with it, but I'm not too surprised to see it banned.
Yeah, it's quite a strong hero, like you were saying. I think you really need to be... You need to have a strategy going against it, and sometimes, if you don't have time to practice it or something, or you're not comfortable with it, it's just not worth playing against.
Pretty good support as well. Like,
yeah.
not just a core hero necessarily.
Yeah, still quite good. And Wisp actually going to be picked up here for Isurus in the 1st round, so I think we're going to see a tiny ban out of CNB.
Yeah, I think you go for the tiny ban here. I think he's definitely the strongest Wisp partner right now. I mean, I think you can make a case for almost any hero being good with Wisp. Like, he just changes the nature of your carry to always be a split-pushing carry. No matter what, you can attend fights when you have to. So, I think no matter what they get, it should be all right. But yeah, I think the tiny is the big priority as far as Isurus are concerned. The one thing that CNB could do is leave the tiny through and then just run an aggressive lane. So you've got Treant Protector, Wisp, Tiny.
And just shut it down.
It's pretty good. I think people underrate Treant Protector as far as tri-lane versus tri-lane is concerned. Leech Seed is just absolutely ridiculous. Try v try. But it is still a double melee tri-lane with a Wisp as your only ranged hero, so not a lot of harassment power. So CNB, that could be the one option for them. Leave the relatively weak Wisp partners through, and then ban something that they're more worried about, say, tri-lane versus tri-lane. Some teams do like to run something like Gyro Wisp on the dire side. Perhaps it's something that DK do a whole lot of, with a lot of stacking and a lot of greed from them. So that could be an option. That would be something that would be a little bit more difficult to shut down by going aggressive. But CNB, they just get rid of the Morphling. Maybe a little bit more worried about that potential Morphling Wisp duo mid multi-cores.
Yeah, that's pretty
looking
gross.
to drag the game. Yeah, I mean, just having it's a very reasonable core hero mid lane. You can have another core in the safe lane, and it gives you a lot of late game assurance, which CNB don't really have at the moment. They're very mid game centric. Mirana can carry in the late game, but it's by being active in the mid game. It's not by sitting back and
it's not by just AFK farming. That's not really where Mirana is best. Got quite a great array of aggressive spells. Best to utilize those. And Disruptor going to be picked up here for CNB, and they are definitely looking to win the mid game. It looks like. I mean, you definitely when you draft, you have to pick a time that you're going to try to win the game. And for them, they're going to have Disruptor ulti, they're going to have Mirana, they're going to have Sand King, Epicenter, and just those 3 heroes alone. Quite a large potential here for some really gruesome mid game fights for Isurus.
Yeah, they're really previously I think you would say, oh, they're super dependent on the Blink Dagger, but it's just impossible to stop the Sand King getting the Blink Dagger these days.
Yeah, you can't do it. It's just
unless you go aggressive and you take a tier 1 and you shut him out of the jungle completely, he's just going to get it eventually.
That's just kind of how it goes now with the 2 levels in Sandstorm. It's just so much easier to sit in the jungle and stack up some camps, get the Blink Dagger rather early, and it's really changed the way that hero's been played. I mean, you can roam very early and then just settle down once you have a couple levels. Just a really strong hero, and there's some teams that pick it. Seems like every single game. Like NAR, yeah. Fog seems to play that hero literally every single game. But Isurus now moving on to their 3rd pick, taking quite a time for it. They've burned through a pretty large amount of their bonus time at this point to pick this one up. So I imagine if they were going to get a tiny, you probably just pick it up right here. So maybe they're thinking something else.
Something like one of your quintessential BKB first carries could be a really nice choice here, because the big thing that they're thinking about is if we relocate a little bit imprecisely, then our carry is going to get glimpsed back, and that's a fight that we've just committed to with a relocate that we no longer have our 1 position in attendance. But if you go for, say, your Luna, your Gyro, one of your BKB first carries, that means you can relocate in and then immediately BKB if the glimpse starts. As soon as you hear it, you just pop it and you won't be sent back. You still got the tether, you still got all of the benefits. And the problem with the Tiny is that while he's great with the Wisp, he's not necessarily a BKB first carry.
Definitely not.
Tiny, if he can get away with it...
He's got a lot of other alternatives he'd like to go for.
Tiny never really wants to buy a BKB. He gets forced into buying a BKB, but he'd much rather go Ags, Manta, AC, Crit, Satanic, Butterfly, smack buildings, win game.
Yeah, and, Isurus have picked up the puck, and immediately CNB followed that up with the Templar Assassin. A great way to deal with the puck in lane. Just extremely hard for him to deal with. Way more damage for the Templar Assassin. Very easy to get harassed off with Cyblades as well. And Isurus have gone for the Gyrocopter, the BKB carry like you were talking about. So looks like they do have that in mind.
Yeah, the Gyrocopter, nice as far as that whole BKB aspect is concerned. Also pretty good to have against the Templar Assassin. Gives them something that they really needed to be able to deal with refraction, which they didn't have up until that point. Looks like they already had the pick kind of scoped out before the Templar Assassin came out, but it's just another...
Fits nicely.
Yeah, it's another thing to mention.
Yeah.
You're right, the Puck versus TA matchup is just awful for the Puck. It's just not... okay, I say it's awful, but at the same time, it's... the Puck doesn't get absolutely destroyed. It's just less CS than you would like. It's one of his worst matchups. It is worth mentioning, of course, that he's probably going to be getting some Living Armor support this game, so I think that's going to help out. And Isurus, if they wanted to, could maybe run Gyro plus Wisp as a duo lane on mid to put pressure on the Templar Assassin and just keep her locked down early. Then the Puck can just farm the safe lane, Treant Protector runs pulls. It does open up a little bit more space for whatever CNB are going to pick up on the off lane, but it could be a good option if they're really worried about the TA. And it's not such a bad duo lane mid, because the Wisp can always wander off into the jungle, set up some stacks, he can wander over to the Ancients even, once he gets the Gyrocopter off to a good start, do some stacking there. And with the new rocket, changes to Heat-Seeking Missile, not Heat-Seeking Missile, Homing Missile, as well, Gyrocopter is even more potent in 1v1s and these more contested lanes. So it could be a good option for them. They might just slap the Living Armor on the Puck nonstop and just keep him on mid.
Yeah, and just try to make it so he can bear through the right click of the Templar Assassin.
Could be an offlane hero as well. Puck is definitely...
I think he's quite good in the offlane.
Yeah, I think some people have said, quoting Arteezy here, but he definitely thinks that Puck is an offlane hero now as opposed to a mid. So maybe that's something that Isurus are going to be looking at here. And with the CNB ban, it looks like they're kind of thinking along those lines as well. You don't ban Ember Spirit if you think Puck is going to be mid. So they're actually... We've got this escalating team fight on both sides. We've got the Sand King and the Disruptor on the one side, and Isurus have really jammed it in with this Puck and Gyrocopter pickup. So it looks like CNB are just worried about Isurus having massive base defense, mass team fight, and being able to drag it late with an Ember and a Gyrocopter, who are just impossible to push into if you don't get the pickoffs. And Treant Protector.
Slide Fist plus Flak Cannon sounds pretty awful.
Screw pushing into Treant Protector as well. That guy is just no fun to push into.
Well, last pick here for CNB. 26 seconds left as they start to bump into their end of bonus time here, but looking for something to round out this team. I mean, you have to imagine that this is probably an offlaner. There we go. It's going to be the Clockwork, so he's been performing. Clockwork's been pretty good this patch. It's been okay. Some players have had like a ton of luck with him. IX Mike is like 20-1 or something with Clockwork in the last 21 games.
Yeah,
so.
Mike has a really good Clockwork. I mean, the one thing to me that really stood out for Clockwork is that in 6.81 he received a bug fix, which was cogs no longer burn people as they walk out. So that basically means if you cut down one of the cogs and you walk in a straight line, you won't be mana burned. Previously, there was pretty much no way to get out of the cogs without being burned. He didn't receive even a minor buff to compensate, so overall he is a little bit weaker than he was previously, but he's still good at what Clockwork is good at. He's still got the initiation power.
Wow.
And Isurus do end up going greedy, and they've got some infest bombs with the puck. I like this pickup quite a bit. And they've got all kinds of ways to run their lanes. Lifestealer can be off lane, puck safe, that duo lane on mid. Could be Lifestealer safe lane, duo lane mid, puck off lane. It just depends on where they want their priorities to lie here.
Yeah, quite an interesting pick, and obviously going to be helpful against battery assault, great against the disruptor. So pretty good pick here as far as the toolbox the hero actually has. It deals with a lot of what CNB has to offer quite well. He's still going to have to deal with the physical damage from 40R. That is definitely going to be a problem. But heading into the game now, who do you favor? Given the lineups and what you know about the teams.
I think you still have to give a little bit of an edge to CNB. I like their chances of being able to just get some good coordination down, glimpse into arrows, Sand King moving around with the bar strike, just setting up kills. Isurus on the whole, a little bit more greedy, a lot more farm oriented in terms of just sitting back with the Wisp, getting your 6. Gyrocopter keeps farming. They can set up some ganks in the mid game, but that's the first time that CNB are going to be pressured at all. Wisp and Tree are just not ganking supports in the slightest. So until we see that Puck with his Dream Coil up and the Relocate online, there's just not going to be any ganks, and that's going to spell a fast Blink Dagger for the Sand King, I think, pretty much no matter what here.
Things maybe are escalating here in the bottom lane. Ned, he's found the entire team for Isurus. I think Pepita is looking to land a leech seed. They do hit an arrow off on fullback. Pepita's still running forward. Is going to grab Baga with that leech seed. Do they have any damage to follow it up? It doesn't look like it with the gyrocopter all the way in the back due to that arrow. Didn't quite work out, but while we have a chance here, some quick team introductions. It's going to be Ned on the Sand King, King RD on the Marana, Baga picking up the Disruptor. We've got Tavo on the Clockwork, and then we've got 40R on the Templar Assassin.
And meanwhile, over on Isurus, we have DDX handling the puck. Papita is going to be on the Train Protector.
Hydra, I think. Not Niadara.
Niadara on the
Sorry,
Wisp. Dude. Yeah, apologies to him. We'll get that clarified, hopefully. Fullback is going to be on the Gyrocopter, and that leaves Zerdo to handle the off-lane Lifestealer. So, Isurus, I think this is probably I really like this lane configuration from them. The really big emphasis does need to be on the Puck getting that Blink Dagger online because, again, like we talked about, Puck is really their only playmaker and initiator as far as the early to mid game is concerned. And the Lifestealer as a carry this game is always going to be up against a little bit of adversity. He's not the best hero up against Templar Assassin. His starting armor is not particularly impressive. And the other things for CNB is they have a lot of ways to kite him around. There's some solid stuns, instant stuns with the Sand King. There's always going to be cogs, which despite not bouncing people anymore while they're magic immune, that was a pretty old change, are still really good against melee carries, and the Marana is pretty evasive as well. So I like this decision from Isurus just to put the Lifestealer on the offlane. And I think the way that this game plays out as well is that the Lifestealer is going to end up spending quite a lot of time just infested in the Puck, moving around looking for ganks. Mm-hmm. So pooling a lot of farm onto him doesn't really make sense because he's probably going to fall behind a little bit just because of how that plays out. Yeah, Gyrocopter is the primary carry here for sure.
Yeah, and they still have that great, the next bomb you pop out, get extra damage, land the open wounds, and maybe set something up so the Gyrocopter can land a solid rocket. And that cooldown does do a lot of damage, decent slow as well. But King RD is DC'd here as CNB have had some issues with their network connections lately, but all right, seems to have reconnected back in, so we've just got to wait for him to finish reconnecting, and seems like we'll be underway. Excellent, back in the game. Not too bad at all.
Yeah, everything's been super punctual. It's been a pretty good tournament so far. I have to.
Yeah, there is honestly sometimes a lot of issues with these South American teams in terms of connections, but it's been pretty smooth so far. I've been impressed. So
it's been good.
Tavo looking like he wants to maybe grab this illusion rune. Definitely doesn't want to give it to DDX. And makes him try to deny it. Is going to pick it up here in the end, but it is going to be this dual lane middle. So looks like we're going to have the safe lane puck going with this Treant here. Should do pretty well against the Clockwork, I think.
Yeah, I think this is a pretty nice way to run the lanes. You're giving a small amount of extra farm to the Clockwork overall, but had they been running a defensive Trilent, I think the Wisp would have probably been stacking over here between these two camps, and the Train Protector would have been primarily pulling anyway. So I don't think this is a huge improvement for Tavo as far as his lane is concerned, and this is definitely a massive improvement for the Puck's farm and for their early to mid game. And shutting down this Templar Assassin as well is nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah, and 40R took a ton of damage already from one Rocket Barrage. Does need to be careful. Great way to deal with that refraction. Great way to deal some damage as well. And, well, things going pretty well here for Isurus in this mid lane so far.
Yeah, well, Zerdo just has already abandoned the bottom lane. I'm a little bit surprised. They made their way down here. They went through all the show to be able to set up a ward that doesn't block the camp, but just gives vision of where the supports are, and then he doesn't really try and make use of it. This ward is still going to mean that they can spot when the potential push is coming onto the tower. They have more information of what's going on, but I don't know. I feel like the Lifestealer could have made a little bit more of an effort to try and grab some levels down in that bottom lane, because he's not the fastest jungler, especially the way that he's running it right now. Doesn't have a Quelling Blade, and isn't choke point jungling at all, so just taking a lot of damage.
Yep, and well, fullback trying to get some damage off there on 40R in the mid lane, but the Wisp and himself not able to make that happen, but well, continuing to try to do so. Gets a couple hits off here, but this mid lane is going quite well for Isurus, and well, bottom lane not going so well, so I guess that might make up for it a little bit, but we'll pay attention to the other lanes here. Tavo seems to actually be doing okay in this lane, not taking a ton of harass. Train Protector hasn't really been able to do anything. I mean, Cogs are very good against Treant, so.
Yeah, Invisarin picked up by Ned, but he has been spotted by a Dire Observer Ward here, so this shouldn't really pay off into a gank. That's a really aggressive position from the Wisp.
Oh, wow, the Wisp is way too far forward, just like you were saying there. Tethers isn't going to be enough to get out of here. Whoa, the damage on 40R. Is he going to live now? That's the question. He is level 3, but no points in Meld, and no one's going to die, but very close call there. Rocket Barrage, man. Serious ability.
Again, no spirits, and I don't think any right clicks from the Wisp in the midst of all that. Could have maybe been a kill, but probably not the biggest deal at the end of the day. I think the Wisp was planning to maybe just get hit by the Burst Strike and then tether away, but they realized, oh hey, we can just go in and maybe look for a kill here instead. So, still no first blood on the board. Sand King, is he going to set up a little stack for himself? Yes, he will. So, the Blink Dagger progress is already, the groundwork's already being laid there. And I think things are looking alright for CNB. I like them in the mid game a little bit more, honestly, just because they have more ways to move around. This Clockwork's going to have a pretty good time. And like we said, the Sand King is going to have the levels, he's going to have the Blink Dagger.
Yeah, absolutely. And Disruptor in the bottom lane is getting some pretty decent levels, pulling away, and very important hero to get level 6 on, but 40R avoiding death in the mid lane, seems like, with that meld.
Yeah, they need some anti-invis here, for sure now.
Need to get some sentries.
Yeah, surprised that I guess the Train Protector started with boots, so that made the situation as far as regen and consumables, and wards is concerned, a little bit less clear. Normally you start with Smoke, Ob, Sense, Courier, and just split them 2 and 2 between the two supports, but if the Train Protector gets a little bit greedy like this, then you have to mix things up.
Yeah, and I would like to see maybe this Treant try to rotate out of lane. He hasn't really done too much in this lane. He's mostly been pulling. I personally at least much favor very aggressive Train Protector play, much more like PPD. Just try to have a huge impact on the other lanes, and you know, with HC you definitely have the capability to do that. They might need some invis to do that on the mid lane, but I mean, if you have invis reveal, Templar Assassin is quite gankable.
Yeah, if he solo smokes and brings a dust, then
should be a pretty easy kill.
Yeah, could quite easily be a kill, especially because 40R, you know, he's checking inventories every single time he gets the opportunity. He's keeping an eye out for the anti-invis.
Absolutely, and no,
they got sentries now. No, never mind.
No, he's just, man, they're just playing up on him. They would love to kill. They would really love to kill 40R. And taking a quick look at the CS, I mean, he is suffering. We're almost at
A little
5
bit.
minutes here. He's at 15. That's not bad, though. And he hasn't died against this dual lane, so they are splitting XP here. Gyrocopter is getting quite good farm, 23 last hits, and Mirana as well. The other leader, 27. It's been very quiet. Nothing has really happened in this bottom lane. It's just been farming.
Yeah, they've turned their Bastion, they stacked up the creep wave, so nice little play from them, just looking to bring down the tier 1 tower. There has been a living armor thrown across, and the Train Protector is going to make his way down, but it's going to be too late. Last hit picked up by the Mirana, and I think this could be a very reasonable Midas game, I think, for the Mirana here. It does depend on whether or not she feels that they need to pick up some... The other alternative way to play this is to pick up some early game items, and then just try and roam around and give the safe lane to the Templar Assassin instead, to try and catch up. But I think when you've got this kind of start, you've got the last hit on the tower before 6 minutes, then the Midas is probably just worth going for. We'll see what King RD does, though.
I mean, he is in...
Okay, no, phase boots.
Alright, if phase first...
I like this as well.
Makes sense. And honestly, there's still an opportunity to get Midas. He has picked up the robe, though, so it makes me think maybe he's just going to go straight for the drums.
Yeah, I think this is fine. He can help the Clockwork set up more kills. They've got 2 really good supports to be greedy with as well. So if the 2 cores want to be roaming around, the Disruptor is quite happily going to farm up his Force Staff and an Aghanim Scepter, and the Sand King can also utilize the farm. So it's not like the farm is going to waste if those 2 cores aren't just sitting around ricing. And like we said, it also makes space for the Templar Assassin to recover a little bit as well, transitioning into the mid game. So I think this is a fine way to play it from King RD, but that does add a little bit more of a timer to them, especially because they have the Clockwork. It doesn't have a huge impact.
Well, Clockwork moving forward, though. Now has the hook shot moving in. Wants to bring down the Wisp. Tether not going to do it. And now the Burrow Strike as well. That's more than enough. Ned going to get that first strike, or first blood, rather. And 40R on the way out. Clockwork puts the cogs down. 40R dropping the meld. Wants that refraction to be coming back up before he heads out. And out he goes. Going to be invis by Moonlight Shadow. But there's a sentry right here. So that could have been a bit sketchy.
Yeah, so Tavo, we said the Clockwork was going to get a little bit of extra space on the off lane, and he is immediately putting that to use right now. Picked up his phase boots, gets that first hook down on mid lane, so nicely played there. And this is, again, just the downside of Isurus' overall draft. They don't really have super responsive supports. They're just going to kind of sit there, grab their farm, hold on to their towers, and the mid game is really their playing field.
This Lifestealer has nothing. 17 last hits and boots.
Yeah, this Lifestealer is a little bit unimpressive. So much for Isurus rests on the
mid lane. 40R going to try to make it out of here. Drops the meld. Realizes they have a detection on the way out. Bottling up. Now going to turn around. Try to take down the Wisp, who's been separated from the Gyrocopter and going to be able to do so.
Oh, that's a huge kill to give away. That's almost all of the work that they put into trying to shut down the Templar Assassin.
Oh, glimpse back. Are they going to get the Gyrocopter 2 fullback? He's rocket barraging Batavo, smartly tanking it up. And that's a double kill for 40R. And like you said, dual lane him all you want. If he gets a double kill like that at 7 minutes, all of that work is just gone now. 1,600 gold.
1,600 gold, wow. So,
do you think he's going to go right for Blink, or is he going to get treads?
What kind of game is this? This might be a just like treads drum Yasha game.
Just
honestly,
the consistent damage output.
Yeah, more move speed, kite the lifesteal around, get up in the puck's face. Don't have so many problems against Overgrowth and Leech Seed and whatnot. So I think I wouldn't mind that. A lot of Templar Assassin builds also just come down to personal preference. Honestly, a lot of players really love getting the Blink Dagger and moving and being aggressive and picking off supports on the back lines. Some players prefer to maximize the just get up in the face of the cores, right-click them down, take the towers, a little bit more farmy. So we'll see where 40R fits on that spectrum in a little bit. But he does have 1,900 gold banked and nothing purchased, so this could maybe even be...
It could be a Midas.
It could be a Midas, honestly.
It's only 9 minutes.
Yeah, yep, that's a Midas recipe. So looks like he's going to be the one slightly greedy core as far as this game is concerned.
This is sort of a newer style build for Templar Assassins, the Midas, and some players really like it. I know there are a lot of players who are actively...
Bot, Zerdo,
like oh.
Chainstone's there.
Oh, no! That's the most frustrating thing on the planet, I think.
Yeah, that's just...
That infest.
That one creep. There was only one creep there, and he was like, hey, this is my ticket.
This is perfect. My ticket home.
Yeah, this is my ticket back to safety. They used the Epicenter as well, so that's a... But Blink Dagger already up for the Sand King.
Yeah.
We basically said, no matter what happens, your net is going to get a fast blink, and extremely timely from him.
But, I mean, kind of surprising, honestly, in my opinion. Oh, that was a missed hook shot in the mid lane. About a 3,000 gold advantage for CNB at this point. I mean, pretty quiet game, but they seem to be farming the map much more efficiently, taking a look at the net worth. That coupled with that huge double kill for 40R. Let's put them in a pretty solid position at this point.
Yeah, and the puck has just gone for so many items
That are not blink daggers.
that are not the blink dagger. Like, I'm not sure if I agree with this, because the whole game hinges on him. They need to get the relocate up and the blink dagger up and load the lifestealer into the puck and get kills. They are behind. They gave up those 2 kills on middle lane, so the game plan is already not working out. It was supposed to be win top lane, win mid lane, and bottom lane as well. We're not going to win it. It's the off lane. We're on the dire side. We're just going to get some lifestealer farm over in the jungle. But yeah, this is
Didn't really work out
dangerous.
that way.
Yeah, didn't work out that way at all.
I mean, Puck did fine top, but they certainly didn't actively win it. Clockwork did just fine, got level 6 and a pretty solid time, and immediately started ganking. And now Hookshot's gonna be coming up again pretty soon.
Yeah, this Sand King's the farming capacity of the new Sand King is just absolutely ridiculous. Like he's ahead of one of the cores on his team in the Clockwork. He's just doing really nicely for himself.
Tavo gonna TP bottom. It looks like CNB gonna be looking to put a bit of pressure on this bottom tower, maybe even kill Zerdo. DDX running away.
And DDX is moving. He's trying to use this coil to pick up a kill, try and get things going for his team.
Without blink, it's hard though.
Yeah, it is really difficult without the blink dagger.
So much time to get away from that orb.
And got a static storm. They've got the blink burrow, the instant stuns. I think might be enough here.
Are they going to use it? Yes, they are. And he is going to make it out. Glimpse back. A little bit of a little
Locate
sloppy.
on its way. Can they get anything out of this?
Gyrocopter is looking for anyone to drop the call down on, but great execution by CNB. I mean, a little sloppy there, but a great split as soon as the relocate was coming back in, so they didn't lose anything. And, well, back go the Gyro, back goes the Wisp, and they're just going to continue pushing the tower.
Yeah, I think if they'd had enough mana for the Burrow Strike right as the relocate had landed, I think they would have just gone in and killed them both. But, yeah, unfortunately, Ned didn't quite have the mana ready to go there. So it just ends up being another kill for CNB. Isurus looking a little bit rough around the edges, honestly, and CNB just really punishing them. DD up on the Templar Assassin.
Baby. Top lane. Tavo gonna get brought down here. I don't think he's gonna make it. Oh, no.
One more punch.
So close. But in the end, the Treant punches him down. So there's 1 kill for Isurus. So trying to make something happen here. Honestly, that was just a bit of an overextension by Tavo. He was a little bit too deep, trying to go 1v1 against the Treant, which would have worked out just fine, but unfortunately the Gyro was around, so. DDX taking some damage from 40R with this DD. Needs to be quite careful. I mean, Puck does not have a lot of HP. With his treads, so it's a little bit more, but still under 1,000.
Yeah, and 50 gold away for the Blink Dagger for DDX. He has to start making some huge plays, unfortunately, just to get his team back into the game at this point. The Gyrocopter's farm is not too bad, but it's worth keeping in mind. There's no stacks. There's no big acceleration coming up for him. So
yeah, it doesn't have a helmet or anything.
What you see is what you get, basically, as far as the Gyrocopter is concerned here. And, I mean, the Train Protector's been pretty happy. He's got a ton of levels. He's got his Arcane Boots up, but
he hasn't really done anything, though.
Yeah, the Train Protector having farm just doesn't feel extremely relevant at this stage.
I totally agree. I'm on that 100%. I mean, really, you just want him to punch people and leech seed them and then overgrowth and hope for the best. But he does have a bunch of farm, but Arcane Boots, I guess they're helpful. But now the Blink Dagger's up on the puck, so I definitely agree. I mean, they need to make something happen like right now.
Look at this Templar Assassin, Midas and 2.5k gold, 40R, top of the net worth chart. He's like, screw the dual lane, doesn't matter for me in the slightest.
Yeah, he's over 6,000 already, and I think he really just played extremely well in that mid lane. He didn't die, he didn't give anything away, and he was even able to come out on top after getting that double kill. So DDX heading out in the back here. I think he's just looking for a kill, but King RD, he has other things in mind, wants to bring down DDX, tosses out the arrow, is gonna miss. Wizard comes out, but now the tower's just going to start taking some damage, and DDX would love an initiation here, but now he knows there's just tons of heroes hanging out. He already used Phase Shift. This might be an opportunity. 40R. Oh, that was a little awkward. Tavo goes in there and, well, stuck in the coil. And wow, that Starstorm did so much damage. Puck goes down. Call down here as well. Tavo invis, though. Is he going to make it out? Oh, no. It doesn't look great. Does not look great at all. And I saw Templar Assassin also got a kill.
Yeah, so they kinetic field static storm the lifestealer bottom lane and the Templar assassin TP down. So
Took him down.
yeah, they took down the lifestealer
And
while
he
that fight was happening.
Just casually bought a drum.
No, you know, why not? He's got tons of farm. He's got all the money in the world. So
Still only brown boots. A little surprised to see that.
phase boots coming out as well on top of the drum.
Oh, okay.
So,
He's just
yeah,
rolling in it,
he's
dude.
stacked. He is absolutely stacked for 15 minutes on a Templar assassin.
And they're just going to continue the pressure here. King RD, he's going to be building towards the Maelstrom. Very normal item for the Murano. Oh, he's actually taking a lot of damage here. He has eaten the orb. Waning Rift as well. Great leap. Gets him past the danger zone. And DDX taking some damage from the right click of 4DR. And can't really go in there, though. The Gyrocopter presenting a bit of a threat. Who's going to be building towards, looks like a straight BKB at this point.
Yeah, he does kind of have to, I think. Again, he's the primary carry of this game. The Lifestealer is getting a little bit of farm here and there, but he's just not going to be all that scary. He's going to get silenced, stunned, kited around. So maybe he can blow somebody up when he jumping out of the puck, but that's probably it for him. And well, Isurus still holding on. I mean, the living armor is kind of keeping them in the game, slowing down the pace and letting them start to grind out this farm, but I think the big thing is that this Templar Assassin is just getting pretty out of control. And like you said, I think it is going to be the Maelstrom. Yeah, going to be the Maelstrom for sure for the Mirana, and it's a really nice farming item for her as well. So I think CNB not even looking too bad if this starts to drag on a little bit towards the late game. And the big point overall as well is that CNB's supports are just so good as late game supports. You get your Aghanim Scepters up. Okay, just wait, what? Rage cancels the TP, 40R.
Oh, Lord. Well,
they get him.
They get him. I guess that's something. And, well, now he's going to have to find where he wants to go from here. I mean, that was a relocate, so you just need to be a bit careful when you move in like that. Baga and Ned are just hiding top, though. They would love someone to come defend this tower.
Yeah, I think this tower is actually... is it forfeit? They've got 2 heroes in the neighborhood, but anybody who TPs in is going to immediately be glimpsed back. No glyph. Can they offer a trade? DDX is just kind of vaguely... Okay, he's going to go for this.
Alright, here we go. Is he going to get glimpsed back? Not used yet. Moonlight Shadow, so DDX here to stay. Not able to get the glimpse off, and it looks like CNB are going to back off with that aggressive CPU support. Wow, DDX is very afraid. He went way back into the trees.
And Zerder just cops a ton of right click from King RD on bottom lane. Lots of pressure being applied. So we are stabilizing a little bit as far as the pace of the game is concerned. Gyrocopter getting his farm on, so closing the gap behind the TA and the Mirana. And there's an armlet up on the Lifestealer as well. So he's looking a little bit more relevant as things go. And maybe we can start to see some more puck movement a little bit too.
Yeah, puck really hasn't gotten too much done this game. I mean, they haven't been involved. There haven't been too many kills in general, but even since picking up that Blink Dagger, he hasn't been too active.
King RD gets forced to pop the loop. They don't have anybody cancel the TP. No more tether stuns. He's gonna be okay. That was really heads up from him. The Lifestealer went on him. He popped the leap and realized, look, I can't just run away from the Lifestealer here. I'm still open wounds. I'm gonna have to go for the TP. And fortunately, he actually baited the relocate out there as well. So even more of a win. And space created, tier 1 tower taken on the top lane.
Yeah, so that's a huge win for them. Baga and Ned are still hanging out in this top lane, waiting for someone to maybe come defend, but now Tavo is TPing out. There's a lot of heroes in the mid lane for 40R. This looks bad for him. There's the coil. They've used the rift. Orb going through. There's the call down. He's still just running around. No, he goes down in the end of the Gyrocopter.
Nobody even moving to help him out there. Ned kind of hung back in the trees. You're on your own, buddy. I'm just gonna
are they gonna kill this Lifestealer again, though? Zerdo. There's the rage. He's turning back around. He's looking for a creep, man. He found one, but unfortunately there's going to be a lot of creeps killing it. He knows that immediately. Static Storm, oh, a little bit off the mark there. Does a good job navigating that one. He still has that armlet turned on. Glimpse back. This might be enough. Gets hit with the arrow. Great glimpse and arrow. That's going to be enough to bring him down. Tries to get some armlet action on there, but not quite enough.
Yeah, another really nice kill for CNB, just cementing their lead further and further. And that tier 1 tower, I think top lane is more of a win than it appears at face value, because each tower, pushing into the Train Protector, like we said earlier, is quite difficult, and every single time you manage to really claim a little bit of map control, that's a big deal. Just because a huge part of the strength of the Train Protector and why you pick him is maintaining your map control. So if that's slipping as if it was just a normal game, then the Train Protector pick isn't really doing the work that you were hoping for it to accomplish. I mean, they're still looking pretty good, but once this tier 1 mid goes down, they lose so much control over their own jungle and kind of Roshan as well. But they do, of course, still have the tier 2s.
Yeah, huge smoke, though. Coming into the mid lane, 3 heroes smoked up. Papita's the only one who's here. Looks like they're going to continue onwards here. They've got greater goals and even passed by the Invis rune. Are they going to loop into this jungle and try to kill fullback? 40 are going to grab that Invis rune, fill up the bottle. Seems like we might suspect he's here now. Walking up the hill, they do have Blink Burrow Strike available. Tabo's here as well. He's going to go for it. A great hookshot on the fullback arrow. Nope. BKB is finished for fullback. The call down comes back in, but the epicenter melts the Wisp. No, he's still alive somehow. Tabo goes down. The Puck able to bring him down with the gyrocopter. Mirana, though, is able to finish off that Wisp.
The Wisp went for a panic relocate, but so he thought, oh man, fullback's getting jumped. I'm going to relocate him back to safety. Fullback thought, I've got my BKB. I'm just going to pop that and away I'll go.
40 are taking a lot of damage in the mid lane. There is Sand King rotating over. Puck, Orb, not quite. There's the overgrowth, but unfortunately Papita's stuck. Down goes the Static Storm. They want to turn this around. They want to kill Zerto. He doesn't have rage for another 5 seconds. Is this enough to bring them down? 40 are going to work, but the Living Armor keeping him alive. There's the Burrow Strike going through. Waning Rift from DDX. The Sandstorm. He jumps inside the Puck. He jumps out of the Puck. They can't kill him. He turns on the armlet, and he is out of here. Oh, great little kill there by Isurus.
Yeah, really nice little skirmish for them. The Disruptor's been landing some nice Static Storms, but the Kinetic Field follow-up has never been there. And he's also maxing Thunderstrike here. I mean, it's good damage. I don't mind it that much, but the little bit of extra control goes a long way, as we've seen against the Puck and the Lifestealer. If you can keep the Lifestealer pinned and silenced, then it's a very, very easy way to deal with it.
Absolutely, and there's the glimpse back on Papita, and I think he's just not going to make it out of this one. And they even go forward further with the Burrow Strike. Oh, Tavo just misses the hook shot. That could have been another kill for them, but this does put them in a good position to knock down this tier 1 tower in the mid lane and get more of that map control you were talking about with the Train Protector down. And it looks like that's exactly what they're going to be looking to do, but wow, TDX aggressive movement forward there, and he just heads back. There isn't even a coil after, and fullback gets nailed by that arrow. Tavo getting hit by the rocket, and Ned can help with the Disruptor, bring that down. Overgrowth, though, from Papita. Tabo taking a lot of damage, and is he going to make it out? There's a lot of heroes in pursuit. Down he goes. Double kill for the Wisp. 40R is still alive. Looks like he's going to be building towards a BKB, but Isurus, really good couple fights there. They did lose fullback in that last one.
Yeah, well, we criticized DDX for not really making a lot of plays happen right as the Blink Dagger came up, but he's been making them happen now. Oh, Papita. Oh,
they have the Static Storm as well, but DDX does a great job. He leaps out. Papita, he's on the way back, gets glimpsed back. Can they get Zerto as well? Yes, they can. King RD turns it around. 40R running forward, wants to blow up this Wisp. Shouldn't be that hard. Actually turns around, turns his attention to the Puck, has the Blink Dagger. Gonna be cool. 40R, you need to make a decision, dude. And it looks like he's going to get no one for his efforts.
Yeah, the Wisp relocated out. Are they going to try and camp him on the return? Yeah, it looks like they are.
Oh, he's brought back fullback, though. I'm not sure they counted on that. BKB activated. King RD leaping forward. They want to bring down the list. The overcharge is no longer there. Now the BKB used. If they can kill fullback here, it's pretty huge. Do they have enough? Epicenter going forward. Yes, they do. Tavo grabs him with the hook shot. What a great initiation by the Clockwork. And CNB seems to have just turned that one on its head.
Yeah, well, the Wisp was like, oh, if I bring back the gyrocopter,
oh yeah, that'll be fine.
That'll be fine. But they went right past the gyrocopter. It was like, screw you, you're BKB'd. We'll deal with you later. Killed off the Wisp, removed that overcharge survivability, and then they cleaned up the gyrocopter later on. So just really nice target selection from CNB. And just going to keep on marching forward. BKB picked up for the Templar Assassin, so she can quite easily man fight up against the Puck, fight the gyrocopter now, which she wasn't able to do previously. So nice little pickup as far as that's concerned, and more towers as well for CNB is the really big factor here.
And at the end of this fight, I mean, it's back and forth for a while, but it ends up being hugely in favor of CNB. And are they going to get Zerto again? He's inside a creep, raged up, trying to make it out of here. Wisp is coming back in with fullback. He's here again. BKB's not off cooldown yet. 40R going to work. The Wisp, he's going to go down. Tavo, He's able to grab that kill, and now 40R is stuck. He got overgrowth. He turns on the BKB, trying to go to work on Zerto. Oh, the arrow hits Zerto. He goes down. King RD is able to grab that one. Puck sailing through Tavo. Oh my god, he phase shifts the hook shot. And on the backside of things, King RD is just man fighting up here. And this is a crazy battle here between these two South American teams.
Homing missile's still going to end up hitting through Invis, but Isurus' biggest problem for them there, like you said, Gyrocopter, no BKB available. He got glimpsed straight back to the fountain as soon as he turned up to that fight. And that could have actually ended up being, I think, a little bit better for Isurus had that BKB been off cooldown. But 6 seconds makes all the difference at the end of the day there.
Definitely just send him back. DDX doing a good job keeping the casualties low with that phase shift at the end there. Tavo's had some pretty good hook shots, has missed a couple though. That one was... It's pretty hard to blame him for missing that one. That was a great phase shift. And now fullback and the Wisp here are going to be looking towards the bottom lane. Zerto here as well. He's picked himself up an overclub. Most likely probably going to be Assange and Yasha. Or at least Assange. Maybe he goes for Halberd or something against the Templar Assassin.
Yeah, the Halberd could be potentially a nice pickup. They've almost got the epicenter. They might just go straight in for this kill with the epi.
I think it looks like they're interested in it for sure.
Yeah, here we go.
Oh, he's charging it up. He's going to go in. There's the Burrow Strike. Gets it off on Zerto. Pretty much full duration, and just nothing you can do about that one. He's going to go down. Now the Wisp here as well. Fullback trying to farm up the Ancients in the meantime. They need to be a bit careful here. A lot of CNB are just right around the corner. Puck grabs the mid tower though.
A little bit of farm, a little bit of a trade.
Oh, fullback stunned up. He drops down the call down. The arrow's coming through. It's not going to hit. It's going to hit the Wisp, though, in the back. And now he's going to get blown up. King RD is on fire this game. And nope. Oh, he used the BKB. He dies anyway. Pepita's going to fall. And I think CNB just took this game in their hands.
Yeah, 4 kills, no response. They do end up losing the tier 1 tower mid, as you mentioned, but they're going to clean up this tier 2 tower bottom lane.
Well worth it.
And they got the glyph out of all of that as well. They're probably even going to get some damage up on the high ground. They're not slackers as far as push goes here, so we'll see. Or they could just head into Roshan. Okay, yeah, so they are going to head into Roshan with the Templar Assassin. Look to clean that one up. Aegis over in their hands, and Isurus just running out of outs right now.
Yeah, they're running out of options.
Yeah, they don't have a damage item up on the Gyrocopter, so as much as the cooldown and first barrage of Flak and Rocket Barrage are nice, there just isn't really any sustained damage whatsoever, and now you have to deal with the Mirana twice, and Mirana is just full glass cannon this game. Mjolnir and an Eagle Song. If you let her sit around and right-click in the fights, you're going to lose everybody.
Yeah, she does a decent amount of damage at this point, attacks quite quickly, and if she finishes up that butterfly, this is going to be just almost impossible for Isurus, to be honest. I mean, I don't really know what they can do at that point. They need a great initiation on Mirana to touch down her damage, but at the same time, I mean, 40R is going to be hitting really hard soon. He has 3,400 gold. Gotta imagine he's going to be going for a damage item next.
Yeah, and the Clockwork's just going to have Blade Mail and Mjolnir on him. He's going to have the static charge buff. So Tavo's just going to go hard. He's just going to jump straight in the middle of the fight, reflect a bunch of damage between static charge and Blade Mail, and that's really hard if you're Isurus to be able to deal with it. We've even just seen the problems for them as far as teammates getting isolated and bursted down just for some really nice CNB focus fire. And wow, Veil up on the Sand King as well. You could have made an argument, I think, this game maybe for a force staff if the game was a little bit more even, just so you can force staff people away from overgrowth, you can force staff people away from open wounds. Nice to be able to kite against what Isurus have, but CNB are just in such a commanding position. I think the Veil is absolutely fine.
Yeah, it will help them do quite a bit of damage in those team fights. And, well, Isurus decide they want to trade the bottom tower for the tier 2 top, and now there's pressure on their racks.
They gotta def the racks. There's no glyph. This is not. You don't trade tier 3 for tier 2. That's not a good idea. Oh, they're gonna be glimpses. You gotta watch out for the glimpses.
Looks like they've escaped it just a little bit. 40R does have a Demon Edge, so he could go for a Daedalus here. Could also go for an MKB. And in the bottom lane, though, fullback. Oh, they bring down the Wisp. He's still going to TP up, though.
If the BKB charge used, they lose the Wisp, they lose the gem.
Yeah, top lane, big fight going on, though. DDX, he's in the Static Storm. He's going to be brought down by King RD, who is just doing so much damage. Call down Overgrowth. That's going to be enough to pop the Aegis, but 40R running for it, bringing down fullback, pops the trap. Oh, still actually gets him. Thought it was too late, but no, it's not. And this tower is just... Kill it! Kill the tower!
Oh, no, there's more kills to be had. Bye-bye, Zerto. No, Rage?
Rage. Armlet toggle. Coming back. Running out of... Oh, runs out of room, though. And this is just... I mean, the announcer said it. This is just ownage for CNB. And lots of unanswered kills. They've really turned this game around. And their mid-game lineup seems to be working quite well.
Yeah, they've just been executing their team fights so beautifully as well. They've got the combo between the Sand King and the Disruptor, and Baga and Ned have been working pretty well together as far as that's concerned. Oh, another initiation of the Wisp. This is not where you want to be, buddy. One more right click from 40R brings him down.
Yeah, and you know, I expect honestly this is probably just the end of the game at this point. I don't really know how, even if Isurus fend off a Rax push middle, how can they get back into this game?
Oh, I don't know if there's any way. I think CNB would have to throw away all of their streaks.
I mean, they have
to the fountain.
15,000 in both XP and gold, and I think that might be about all she wrote for this game. But DDX looks like this might be his last stand. Moves forward, gets out, called down. Not much else left in the tank though. They still have the BKB on the gyro.
Maybe if the Gyrocopter gets both streaks from the Mirana and the Templar Assassin, and then buys a Rapier, then they have a small chance. But I think the Disruptor has his Aghanim Scepter completed. So if he drops the Static Storm before the Gyrocopter pops BKB, he's just going to get blown out by the Bar Strike.
Wow, look at this core here. Most of an Ags, part of a Butterfly, and a Chrysalis as well.
Oh, the King RD stands his ground. Don't break the coil.
He's out. Great timing there. Moonlight Shadow pops as well. He's going to try to make it out of here. They put down the trap. They might even try to turn this one around. No, they're just using that trap defensively and continuing to run back here. They really want to make sure King RD doesn't die. Like, that's a pretty big streak, so.
I saw another arrow lobbed. So he's got his Butterfly completed. Yep.
Yeah, it's on the courier.
And he can go for another item. If
and 3,000 gold. Casual.
I wonder what he goes for here. Maybe just lifesteal is a pretty good option. He's got so much damage that I could see maybe a HOTD. Maybe he's feeling adventurous. We'll see a Deso or crit or something along those lines.
Oh, fall back. Oh no. Man, that is just...
Oh, and the attempted relocate, so that's on cooldown now.
Well,
oh, they're going to get the Wisp! They found where he relocated out from, so...
That does not look great.
Do have Dire Heroes moving into position.
DDX trying to come back over. Papita coming in as well. Baga, they drop the Overgrowth, but there's a Static Storm, but Zerto does not care about that. He just chomps through that, and Ned needs to figure out a way to get out of here. Can he get out of here? Trying his best. Great 4-step by Tavo. Going to push him out of the way. Well, they just lose one, but they kill fullback.
Meanwhile, bottom lane, 4DR just going
to
hard
work.
in the tier 3. Yeah, neither of the cores were really there for CNB, so it does explain a little bit how things started going that way, and Isurus managing to pick up at least the one kill. But King RD, the king has returned, and 4DR is chilling at bottom lane as well. Oh,
goodbye, Zerto. Oh, armlet toggle. Nope. Oh, Tavo. Hook shot. DDX has to phase shift, needs to get out of here, is going to get out of here, but they just look like they're in shambles at this point, honestly. CNB played this game quite well.
Yeah, dropping the call down just to force CNB out of the base, but King RD finds a spot right on the edge. He's going to be fine, and yeah, I think hope is more or less lost for Isurus here.
Yeah, and you know, I have to say, coming to this qualifier, I honestly not counted... Oh god, fallback.
More arrows.
More arrows. Ned gonna move forward. He's got a Veil. Winning Rift, but it's on the wrong side of the fight. Overgrowth is gonna go off here in 40R. Use the BKB beforehand. Wow, King RD moves forward. He pops the Dream Coil, and it just does not seem to matter at this point. As the base is dying. Well, fullback comes in. This is their last stand. Wisp, where did he go? He was there a second ago, and now fullback's getting brought down as well. That BKB does not matter when there's so much physical damage. Still has lead. They turn it around on DDX. Static Storm goes down on Zerto. He's coming back in, and CNB are making it look way too easy at this point, and I gotta expect the GG now. There it is. But man, CNB, I honestly, coming into this tournament, not counted them out, but just was not expecting a lot from them.
And you've been impressed?
I've been impressed. That was a great display from them.
Yeah, I think I gotta get on the same bandwagon.
Gotta get on the Fear train?
Yeah, get on the Fear bandwagon. He knows what he's talking about. So CNB, that puts them up to 3-1, I believe. Yeah. So very, very respectable score as far as this first day is concerned. Unfortunately, Isurus
0-4.
0-4 so far. So things not looking good as far as their run is concerned here. But well, pretty nice game. Nice to see some more CNB action. Their next match is going to be... That'll be round... Liquid? 5. Is it Liquid? Yeah, okay, so CNB are going to be up against Liquid That's going to be LD and Fear handling that on the BTS 2 stream. So that's going to be up next. I'll sit up properly so I'm not being obscured by my own name.
Oh god.
Up over here, we've got one more match between the two of us. So that's going to be Isurus versus eHug. So we're going to get to see some more of the Jigglemeister.
The Jigglemeister.
Up against Isurus. See if they can maybe pull out a win here, but things are looking a little bit bleak as far as their qualifier run.
Yeah, it's not looking good. Not looking good. Starting out 0-4. Not a great place to be, but, moving forward here, we'll have to see how CNB does. So, do we know the conclusion
of Liquid versus...
I
don't know. I think it looks like it might have just ended.
Team Liquid's at 2-0.
Okay, Liquid 2-0.
Looks like they beat Snob.
So the most important, today was a super important day for Liquid, and obviously we're getting off our own stream a little bit here, but today was super important for Liquid because they didn't play in the first 2 rounds, and then their very first match was against Revenge, their second match was against Sna, and their closing match for today is against NAR. So all of the other teams in the qualifier, they should more or less beat. They're the favorites going into most of the other matches aside from those 3 where I think things are a little bit closer. And so basically if Liquid do well today, which they are doing so far, then they're looking like they're in a pretty good to make a run for top 2. And I think they're almost at this point, so long as they keep on form, they're pretty much guaranteed top 4.
Well, Union Gaming is 2-0. I think are they playing anyone right now?
So Union Gaming should currently be playing... Union Gaming might not have a match at the moment.
They beat eHug and they beat CNB.
Then they might have... they have a match against No Earth Spirit. That's probably ongoing right now. That should be on the upstairs stream, so that's BTS 2. So that might still be ongoing, guys, if anybody wants to jump out and catch a little bit more Dota action. Scheduled start for our next match is in about 20 minutes' time.
Okay.
I believe. So we're going to have a short break there. There might still be some stuff going on the couch stream. Not sure what the outcome of that match is, but having a pretty good time. I don't know about you guys. You enjoying it?
It's been great, man.
It's good.
Cal, I just had In-N-Out for the first time.
Yeah?
It was a great experience. Good? It was delicious, man. But we'll be back here in about 20 minutes' time. But if you guys want to watch some of the other streams, you can go check out twitch.tv/team/TI4NA. Yep. And that'll show us all the streams going on in the house right now. So we'll see you guys soon.